going to share some case studies that highlight the incredible work data analysts do. Each of these scenarios shows off the power of data-driven decision-making in unexpected ways. The first story is about Google. As I mentioned a little while back, here at Google, our mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. All of our products, from idea to development to launch, are built on data and data-driven decision-making. There are tons of examples here at Google of people using facts to create business strategy. But one of the most famous ones has to do with Google's human resources. So here's how it went. The HR department wanted to know if there was value in having managers. Were their contributions worthwhile, or should everyone just be an individual contributor? To answer that question, Google's People Analytics team looked at past performance reviews and employee surveys. The data they found was plotted on a graph because, as you've learned, visuals are extremely helpful when trying to understand a problem or concept. The graph revealed that Googlers had positive feelings about their managers, but the data was pretty general, and the team wanted to learn more. So they dug deeper and split the data into quartiles. A quartile divides data points into 4 equal parts, or quarters. Here's where the really cool stuff started happening. The data analysts discovered that there was a big difference between the very top and the very bottom quartiles. As it turned out, the teams with the best managers were significantly happier, more productive, and more likely to want to keep working at Google. This confirmed that managers were valued and make a big difference. Therefore, the idea of having only individual contributors was not implemented. But there was still more work to do. Just knowing that great managers create great results doesn't lead to actionable insights. You have to identify what exactly makes a great manager. So the team took 2 additional steps to collect more data. First, they launched an awards program where employees could nominate their favorite managers. For every submission, you had to provide examples or data about what makes that manager great. The second step involved interviewing managers who are graphed on the top and bottom quartiles. This helped the analytics team see the differences between successful and less successful management behaviors. The best behaviors were identified, as were the most common reasons for a manager needing improvement. The final step was sharing these insights and putting a procedure in place for evaluating managers with these qualities in mind. This data-driven decision continues to create an exceptional company culture for my colleagues and me. Thanks, data. Another interesting example comes from the nonprofit sector. Nonprofits are organizations dedicated to advancing a social cause or advocating for a particular effort, such as food security, education, or the arts. In this case, data analysts research how journalists can make a more meaningful impact for the nonprofits they would write about. Because journalists write for newspapers, magazines, and other news outlets, they can help nonprofits reach readers like you and me, who then take action to help nonprofits reach their goals. For instance, say you read about the problem of climate change in an online magazine. If the article is effective, you learn more about the cause and might even be compelled to make greener choices in your day-to-day life, volunteer for a nonprofit, or make a donation. That's an example of the journalist's work bringing about awareness, understanding, and engagement. So, back to the story. The data analysts used a tracker to monitor story topics, clicks, web traffic, comments, shares, and more. Then they evaluated the information to make recommendations for how the journalists could do their jobs even better. In the end, they came up with some great ideas for how nonprofits and journalists can motivate people everywhere to work together and make the world a better place. There's really no end to what you can do as a data analyst. As you progress through this program, you'll discover even more possibilities. Great job following along with the topics in these past few videos. You learned all about analytical skills and the 5 key characteristics of data analysts. You probably even learned that you're a pro at most of these already. Next, you discovered what it means to think analytically and the specific skills data analysts develop to help them do it. You explore tools and processes that enable data analysts to pinpoint a problem and ask the right questions in order to solve it. Finally, some real-world stories helped illustrate why data-driven decision-making is usually more successful than other methods. You're building a wonderful foundation for your career as a data analyst. With every video, your skills will continue to expand and your understanding of key data analytics concepts will only get stronger. Soon, you'll have a chance to test out everything you've learned. This is a really useful opportunity to check your understanding of all the concepts we've discussed. And if you're ever unsure about a question, you can review the videos and readings to find the answer. This is another awesome way to practice collecting data. Keep up the great work.